Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, mic check. Hello, hello. Okay, this is working. Hello, 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 jello. It's your dude, Tomatoteddy, also known as DT or whatever. Okay, guys, I'm super excited because not only did I find a way for my voice to sound more clear and consistent using BandLab, this is hopefully going to be the start of a new video series I'm hopefully going to be starting and continuing where I make designs of magical girls based off different themes and elements and stuff, and basically insert them into a universe based off gacha games like Cookie Run, Kingdom, Magic Record, Free Fantasy, and Dislight. Also, sorry if you hear me like noises in the background and like shuffling noises. I'm currently in my parents' bedroom. I'm recording this on my phone. I am very uncomfortable. Sometimes I am comfortable, but sometimes it just feels a little bit weird, so please forgive that. Each girl in this series will come with a magical girl outfit along with a civilian design and maybe a magical creature companion. They also get names both civilian and magical girl. There will be more information on this on my Toyhouse, where I'm planning to basically store these girlies and place them in a folder especially dedicated to them. Anyways, with the start of a new series, I wanted to draw my first magical girl, and she's the girl currently I'm drawing on screen. Her name's Adelia Drake, her magical girl form is named Carmilla, and she's based off a vampire. I basically wanted to make splash art for these characters that would show up when you pulled a new character from the gacha pull system, and I also wanted to make them look like they could be on promotional art or figurines. So I made sketches of both her designs first, before I tackled the actual splash art. I was originally going to draw them in my normal, usual design, detailed anime art style, but then I decided to change it to my rounder chibi art style because I drew way too much detailed stuff just a month before for Art Fight, and I was planning on drawing these magical girls in like bulk. So I drew them in my simpler art style so I can draw more characters more easily and to put less weight off my shoulders, you know? The thing with Carmilla is that she's actually a character design I made before I started this series. I was actually going to start this series earlier and made a supposed to be first video where I made magical girls based off color palettes. Obviously that never came to fruition and I never posted the 3 character designs I made for that video until now. Although I'm only going to be like showing Carmilla's design, I might show the other 2 like later. By the way, here's the color palette I used for her, and here's her original artwork for reference. So when drawing her now, I kept her design relatively the same since she still looks good, but I did change and add some little bits here and there. She originally had like this black and white frilly headband with roses and bows on it, but I thought her design was too Victorian and read less vampire because she was supposed to look like a vampire. That's what the color palette made me think of at first. So I changed the ribbons in her hair to be bat wings. I also changed the bits on her sword hilt too, to wings, to kind of hit on the vampire theme more, and to also create a more interesting silhouette for the sword, I guess. I don't know. There's also this red panel on the front of her dress that I also wanted to change to frills to like mimic the look of a rose would have. This was inspired by one of Jinja Ninja's magical girl designs. Side note, their series kind of inspired me to pick up magical girl character designs in the first place, so thanks Ray, big inspo. The weapon I decided to give her was like this sword with red crystals and a bat wing hilt on it. You may feel free to dub this as the bat sword. The crystals are there not just to look cool and unique, but also because they tie into her magical girl ability, which is to bloodbend, I guess. Now, I never watched Avatar or Korra. Sorry, I was not born during the time it got super famous, and I have too much on my shoulders right now, too much hyperfixation, so I can't really watch the show. Maybe I will in the future, maybe I won't, who knows. But I decided to give her the bloodbending ability because, you know, vampires' blood, it just fits so well. So Carmilla can, like, stab someone with a sword, and the blood that comes out will be stored in her sword crystals for later use. And what's the later use, I hear you ask? So she can transform the blood in her crystals, like bring the blood out of the crystals and transform them into spikes or swords and basically yeet them at her enemies. She can transform them into other stuff too if she wants to, but her main move is to transform blood into weapons to use against her enemies. And she could still reuse the blood afterwards, so it's clean and efficient. Don't ask about periods though, nobody brings them up when we talk about bloodbending abilities. She cannot use them outside of her Maho form. It would be less painful for her though, and for me too if I had bloodbending abilities, but I don't know if I'd like to try to bend the blood out of me. If you guys have probably noticed already, I keep on going in and out of drawing this one little back character in the canvas. That is Count Kiro, Carmelo's fairy mascot companion thingy. I decided to give her one because, honestly, I was bored. And I wanted to. I'm kind of on the fence on whether I want to make the magical fairy creatures thing a permanent feature in this series or not, since I want to focus more on designing these girls rather than these tiny creatures. But he gets the spotlight for now, just because. If the fairies do end up being a permanent thing in this series, I imagine they will work the same way as combi pets in Oven Break, where the pets give you extra buffs and stuff. I originally made two versions of Kiro, one with black fur and one with white fur. And I showed these designs to my older sibling to help me decide which one to do. So thanks, Sohi. And as you can probably already see, they chose the white one. As for her personality, I want to imagine her being pretty mischievous and a bit of a prankster, bit of a troublemaker too, if I say so myself. I definitely try to show that in her pose, with her originally doing the L with her finger and thumb before I switched it to the peace sign because I know it looked better on her. I also imagine that she's pretty sneaky and sly with her trying to do pranks on everyone, and I also imagine that she might be able to transform into a bat when in her magical girl form. So in this bat form, she can she's smaller, so obviously she can do more tricks and sneak up on people and stuff. But this form only lasts for a few minutes or seconds, I'll say. Also, for the background for this one, I definitely had trouble with it, as you can see. The background for my previous drawing of her worked because it was more rectangle than square, but here I had no fucking clue. I wanted to make this background so that I could use the background for every magical girl but with different colors, but it was a bit difficult. I tried to go for the background that I used previously in her previous iteration. It definitely didn't work because of the square shape of the canvas I was using. I then went for this blobby grunge thing with that square pattern behind her, and I felt that it did work. However, I changed it to purple for a short while because I made up in my mind that if she was in a gacha game like Manja Record, her element would probably be dark because moons and vampires and stuff. But the purple didn't work for her because of her whole color palette, so I just stuck with her own color palette. And now, as you can see, we are working on Adelia's civilian outfit. I decided to draw her in a school uniform because I didn't want to spend too much time trying to think of an outfit for her since she's more of a miscellaneous character. Besides, the characters in Magic Record are usually shown in their school uniforms anyway, so I feel like I get to have a pass. I wanted to go for an old boarding school look just so it would fit better with her vampire theme. I don't know if she actually attends a boarding school or not, though I feel like a boarding school magical girl would be kind of interesting to hear and see about, with her having to spend most if not all of her time around teachers and classmates and trying to keep her identity secret. Anyways, back on topic. I gave her an off-white top with puffy sleeves that also end in a sort of jagged line diamond shape at the ends. She also gets one of them tartan tie ribbons with a tartan skirt and socks, just because I felt like it fit with her boarding school oldies vibe, and I also give her typical Mary Jane shoes. To allude to some elements in her Maho outfit, I gave her red stud earrings that might transform into the cross ones she currently wears in her magical girl outfit, and I gave her a red headband to look like the one she wears in her, magical girl outfit. She originally had a more shorter hairstyle that ended at her shoulders and so it's square and blunt and kind of sticking up at the end. I have to admit, the hairstyle did look cute in that design, but I decided to change her hairstyle for 2 reasons. One, she looked too similar to another character I'm designing for this series, and that wouldn't be original, and I didn't want to change that other character's hairstyle because she had the same hairstyle in both her civilian and magical girl outfit. And 2, she looked too much like Word Girl. No hate on Word Girl, I never watched Word Girl, sorry Word Girl fans, I was a crack kid back in my heyday, and she wouldn't look unique if she looked too similar to another character. Plus, I don't want people going, "Hey, yo, is that Word Girl in the comments?" I give her dark brown hair and eyes to contrast her more unnatural look when in her magical girl form. And I also gave her, a tooth gap. You know when a character design just has, a line in the middle of their teeth that's, supposed to be a gap? Yeah, I think that's really cute. I decided to add it on her because her fangs only show when she's in magical girl form, and I guess I wanted to allude to something with her teeth, I guess. It also helped with the mischievous personality I try to show in her design. I don't know how. Maybe because it reminds me of them troublemaking Victorian boys out in the streets pickpocketing stuff. I don't know. For her pose, I want to clearly also make her look mischievous, and I want to make her look like she was scheming something or was planning to scam you or prank you or something. I didn't really know how to portray that basically wasn't her pose when in her magical girl form. And I didn't want to make it too obvious, making her hold a whoopee cushion or one of them fake poops. So I decided to make her tossing a coin as she walked. I don't know, that pose just gives me the vibes of a mob boss or one of them Irish teen boys you're afraid of passing by. She's the mini version of a mafia gangster type, except she's Filipino British. And I say she's Filipino British because I'm Filipino and I want her to be Filipino. But I also want to kind of make her British to allude to her vampire theme. So she's Filipino British now. No, no. Do not. I forgot the word. Sorry, I'm kind of awkward like this. Sorry. You could see in the background I did decide to stick with the purple thing I tried on my previous drawing. I did try a red version, and although it did look good, I decided to stick with the purple one. Well, just because, lol. And with that, our vampire magical girl is done. I hope you all liked the series I'm planning on continuing and that you like these designs I made. Feel free to comment suggestions for the next magical girl themes I should base the next batch of magical girls on, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video, and feel free to check out my other social medias in the description, and bye-bye!